You ever feel like you're doing everything right? Checking the boxes, putting in the hours, grinding day after day? But still, something's off. You're not lazy. You're not soft. You're doing what a man's supposed to do. Push through. But deep down you feel stuck. Not because you're not trying, but because you're trying without clarity. And here's the hard truth most men were never told. You can't outwork a mind that's exhausted. Let that sink in, because while the world tells you to hustle harder, wake up earlier, fill every hour with action, it rarely tells you how to protect your most valuable asset, your mind. We live in a world where burnout is worn like a badge, where rest is confused with laziness, where silence is feared. And most men? We cope, we numb, we bury our stress under distraction. You wake up tired, you open your phone, you check the news, your emails, maybe even Instagram. You're reacting before you've even claimed the day, and by noon your focus is shot. You feel busy but not productive, wired but uninspired, and worst of all, disconnected from yourself. That's not how you're meant to live. Here's the thing. Productivity doesn't start with action. It starts with clarity. It starts with alignment. It starts with you knowing exactly who you are, what matters, and how you're going to show up, regardless of how you feel. And you can't fake that. You can't download it. You have to build it, one intentional habit at a time. The myth of hustle culture. Let's address this first. Hard work matters, discipline matters, grinding when you don't feel like it, yeah, that matters too. But working yourself into the ground without checking in on your mental state, that's not strength. That's self-destruction with a work ethic. The guys who last, the men who lead, the ones who stay sharp even when life punches them in the mouth. They don't ignore their mental health. They train it. They structure their thoughts like they structure their workouts. They don't wait until burnout. They build routines that keep them grounded. And one of the most underrated, most misunderstood tools that successful, self-led men use? Self-care. But let's redefine that right now. Because most of what gets labeled self-care these days, it's not built for men. It's soft, it's surface level, it's unstructured. Real self-care for a man? It's early morning silence instead of chaos. It's journaling instead of scrolling. It's choosing clarity over noise. It's structure, reflection, and discipline over escape. Self-care is about staying dangerous, with control. You don't rise by accident, you rise by alignment. Why men are quietly struggling. Let's be real. Most men are fighting silent battles. Pressure to perform, responsibility without recognition, emotions that have no outlet, pain that gets tucked behind a smile. And the worst part? We normalize it. We say, I'm fine when we're not. We keep going because that's what men do. But inside, we're worn out, distracted, irritable, disconnected. And that's where self-doubt creeps in. That's where you stop trusting yourself. That's when everything feels harder than it should. That's when productivity drops. Not because you're lazy, but because your mental clarity is gone. The mind becomes fogged. You start second-guessing yourself. You overthink small things and ignore big things. You lose the edge you used to have. And no amount of caffeine, to-do lists, or motivation quotes can fix that. You need a system, a reset, a space to clear the mental clutter and reconnect with your vision. The missing habit. Mindful structure. Let me introduce a concept most men overlook. Journaling. Not emotional venting, not fluffy reflection. Structured, intentional, masculine journaling. This is not about feelings. This is about focus. When you journal with structure, you take command of your thoughts. You process the stress, you track your growth, you challenge the false stories playing in your head. And most importantly, you design the mindset you want to live with. This habit saved my clarity. It gave me back my focus. And it helped me lead with strength, not just react with stress. And because most journals are designed without strategy, I built one that actually works, the Mindshift Journal. This journal isn't therapy. It's a mental weapon. It asks you the right questions. It builds discipline. It reveals patterns. It tracks victories. And it keeps your goals front and center. Every single day, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. That's it. This habit alone can do more for your mental clarity than a weekend off or another time management app. Because what most men need isn't time-saving hacks. It's a mindset reset. Self-care equals mental leadership. Here's the big idea. Self-care is not optional, it's leadership. If you can't lead your mind, you'll eventually lose control of everything else. Your work, your relationships, your purpose. All of it starts in the mind. If your mindset is reactive, your results will always feel out of control. But when you lead your mind intentionally, you reclaim your time, your confidence, and your peace. That's why the most productive thing you can do some days is sit in silence, grab your journal, and face your thoughts before they control you. Life's going to hit. Be ready. Make no mistake. Life will hit. You'll lose people. You'll question your purpose. You'll face moments that test everything you believe about yourself. And in those moments, your success won't be based on how much you've achieved. It'll be based on how anchored you are. Clarity under pressure, confidence under fire, discipline in the dark. That's the edge journaling gives you. It's not flashy, it's not trending, but it works. It gives you control in a world built to distract you. It makes you dangerous in a culture that wants to weaken men mentally. You want to be more productive, more focused, more confident? Then stop trying to do more and start clearing the mental fog that's holding you back. Start building structure into your mind like you build structure into your day. Start journaling like your mental health depends on it, because it does. Use that space to lead yourself, to break the noise, to rise from distraction and rebuild focus. You don't need more apps. You need more clarity. You need alignment. You need a moment of truth every single day. And that's exactly what the Mindshift Journal gives you. Take the first step. This is your move. You've heard the call. Now it's time to act. Grab the Mindshift Journal now at strongminddaily.com. Start building the mindset that carries you through pressure, setbacks, and stress. Reclaim your peace, reset your direction, rise above the battle, and lead from within. And if this resonated, subscribe for more straight-up, no-fluff tools for men who want more from their mind, their habits, and their life. Because strong men aren't built by accident. They're forged in silence, tested in fire, and anchored in structure. Let's get to work.